Welcome back to the channel. Still playing 2d6 dungeon here. We're on level 3, which we were about halfway done. Let's see. Level 3 is the Crypt. We're looking for stairs down to the haunted level 4. 2d6 dungeon is created by Toby Lancaster. His links are in the description. We're using Talespire for mapping, and we are going to get moving here. Let's zoom out and see where we're at on the map. Let's see, we had started here. All of this was dead end area, and we circled around, and all of these I could have moved over a little bit to touch the outer wall, so we had a chance to go back to town, but I never shift. I liked everything staying in line. All the rooms were staying in line, so same size, so they kept a little gap. So our next step, we're gonna head up here to the north. We're gonna try and touch the outside wall so we can stop back to town. And we're going to come over this way and hopefully find these stairs down. So let's move over here. Alright, let's step into this room. What we find is a font room. In the center of this dark space is a stone font. Standing at it is a priest, as if baptizing a child. There is no child though. This is a zombie priest, drawn to repeat their past actions, and you must fight it. I forgot to put the door in. Just a second. There we got a door. We'll step forward here so we can do combat. Our zombie's gonna turn and face us. Let's rotate camera around. There's our zombie. A new session. So the zombie turns our direction, flesh loose on its face, a blank terror suspended in the white globes that are its eyes. It moans and lopes towards you. Top of combat round 1, we're gonna attack the zombie. We got 2 and a 3, and we only have 2 shifts, so we cannot turn that 2 into a 5. Zombie's turn for round 1. Gonna swing at us with his clawed hands, getting a 1 and a 5, and we're not able to shift that into a clawed hand either. Top of round 2, we're gonna swing at our zombie, see what we can get. We got a 2 and a 6 and a 2. We have 2 shifts to change that 2 into a 4, make for a heavy slash. And with the heavy slash, we have a 4 plus 2 for 6 damage, and no interrupts to block that. 6 points of damage brings it down to 6 health. And zombie's turn for round 2. We got a 2 and a 6. Only 1 shift, and that cannot go to a clawed hand. Top of combat round 3, our turn, swinging at the zombie. We have a 5 and a 3, and that is an exact strike with the lunging thrust, which means we get to add our shift bonus onto that. 2 plus 5 plus 2 shift, bringing it to 9 points of damage. And that is enough to kill our zombie. Let's do a body search on the zombie and see what we got. There is a golden chain around the corpse's neck. It is worth 3d6 plus 10. Uh, 17 gold pieces. Let's put that on our character sheet here. Gold chain. The previous gold chain was worth 19 gold pieces, so we'll put this one on here in a different spot. There we go. And then we get our experience points, bringing us up to 1080 experience. And we can put the zombie away and move on. Let's check this door. The room itself didn't really have anything else in it. Let's check this door and see if it's locked. That would be unlocked. Let's open this door and see what we got. Entering in, we find a mosaic tomb. This space was once beautiful and shows a large mosaic showing an underwater scene. Kneeling at a large chest is a tomb raider. They turn and draw their cutlass. So they're gonna turn at us as we step into the room. Move this around here for combat. Bring up our Tomb Raider. The Tomb Raider, there are few people who dare to venture into the crypts in search of treasure. They are more than happy to recover the treasure from those who get in their way. They draw a knife and attack. For their maneuvers, we have Cutlass Slash and Grip Twist. Their interrupts, we have a low duck on primary 4s and 5s for -2, which would be our heavy slash. And a forearm block on secondary 1s and 2s, which is not our maneuvers. So let's get started with our turn on round 1. We'll attack first. We have a 4 and a 3. We can shift that 4 into a 5 to make a lunging thrust. Now we'll start off with 7 points of damage, bringing them down to 13 health. Tomb Raider's turn on combat round 1. They only have one shift, but they have a 2 and a 6. They can turn that 2 into a 3 to make a grip twist, which is just a D3 damage. That is a 2. Do that. Bringing us down 26 health. Back to our turn for top of round 2. We got a 5 and a 1. You can turn that 1 into a 3. Make another lunging thrust. 11 points of damage on that. Bringing them down to just 2 health. Tomb Raider's turn on round 2 here. Swinging back at us. Oh, they got a prime attack roll. They pull out a spike chain and flick at you. It loops around and lashes your arm. Lose 2 hit points. Bring us down to 24 health. Top of combat round 3 with our turn. Swing at the Tomb Raider. We got a 5 and a 5. 2 shifts, we can turn that 5 into a 3. Make another lunging thrust. 10 points of damage. Bringing them to dead. We have body search and a bag and some gold. And then there's also the chest to check. But first we'll get some experience. 180 plus 70 is 1150. Body search 2 brings us with strapped to the thigh of the creature is a leather holster with 2 throwing knives. There is also a pouch worth 3d6 gold. 11 gold in it. Jumped here, fix our gold. Brings us up to 42 gold. We got 2 more throwing knives. We're up to 5 throwing knives now. I need to remember to throw stuff. Give us 2 chances to hit something before they hit us. Alright, let's see what's in the bag. Inside the hemp bag, wrapped in an old shirt, is a silver buckle worth 3d6 plus 30 silver pieces. 40 silver pieces, and a magic scroll. Let's get the silver buckle on our page, and then we'll find out what scroll we got. Our scroll is oh, I didn't need to roll 2. I just need to roll 1. Not literally rolling a 1. I didn't. Anyway, scroll is a scroll balance. And then we check our chest over there. Inside the chest there is a small wooden case in the bottom. You flip it open and find a fine lockpick plus 3. 3 of them. Let's mark it as 3 lockpicks plus 3. We are done with the room, and we are done with the Tomb Raider. We moved over to the chest. Alright, the room has 3 exits. They are all archways. I think we'll head this direction. No, we'll go north. Go out to the wall, and then follow the wall over. Alright, stepping through this archway, we come into another short little corridor and another archway. Stepping through this archway into another short hallway. Running this direction. I think we'll head that way. Get a room that hopefully touches the wall so we can stop home. The corridor continues this way. Alright, we're continuing on with our corridor. 2 exits, and we're touching the wall. Very limited chance of having an opening there, but we'll check anyway. We need a 6. If we get a 6, oh my god. We have found an exit. Yeah, I'm not gonna switch to the town map for this. We're just going through this exit, stopping back to town, and selling off all of our stuff. Spending a day up there, getting recovered. We had liberated 1 prisoner, so we'll check that. Got a 6. The prisoner was from a rich family. A representative approaches you and gives you a pouch, 4d6 gold pieces. Nice. Yeah, 16 gold pieces. Okay, then we get to sell some items at the market. We had a low quality sapphire and 2 medium quality rubies. Yeah. Gems retain their full value of sell price, and other items we sell for half, but then we have a bartering table to adjust that price even more. Not found any magic ruins, so we don't need to go engraver, and herbalist we don't need to visit at the moment, I don't think. Buying rations. We got 5 rations, we're alright. Let's do the market first. Let's check our bartering. We do that with 2d6 plus our adventurer level, which we are level 4. We are horrible at bartering today with just a 7. We're maintaining the basic half off everything. We have a silk sash worth 36 or 38 gold pieces. We have a gold chain worth 17 gold pieces. We have a gold amulet worth 9 gold pieces with 4 slots, and we were waiting. Oh yeah, we wanted to get 4 gemstones put in there, so we might hold on to that and not sell our gemstones at the moment. Gold chain was worth 19 gold pieces, and half of that would be 37 pull that off of our sheet to make some room. Dash is gone. Gold chain is gone. Other gold chain is gone. Now in the silver piece section, we have 2 limb silver rods at 17 each, and we have the silver buckle, which is 40. That's 74 total divided by 2. 37 silver pieces. 37 gold pieces and 37 silver pieces. So let's add those to our sheet. Brings us to 95 gold pieces and 65 silver pieces. Let's see what else we want to get rid of. Alright, we do have a metal hammer and some metal tongs. Those are 5 gold pieces each. 2 tongs, 1 hammer is 15 gold. Alright, we have cord, we have leather cord, and we have leather straps. I'm kind of wondering if all of that stuff is the same. I feel like it would sell for the same. Oh, 10 gold or 10 silver pieces each. It was 3 strips, 1 cord, and 1 leather cord. 50 silver pieces there. And we have a metal plate. That's another 5 gold. Let's get that all added onto the character sheet before I forget math. 95 plus 20, maybe 115 gold pieces. And 65 plus 50 brings us to 115 silver pieces. We're getting double numbers on everything today. Alright, let's take a look at things that can sell for copper. We got 6 pouches. We're going to sell 5 of those for 10 copper pieces each. So we'll start with 50 copper for our pouches. I don't know why, but I have the feeling we're going to want to get rope and a grappling hook. So I'm going to put the grappling hook on the sheet, and we'll go over to our money and take care of all this. 50 more copper, and then we're buying rope and a grappling hook. We'll bring our gold down to 10. Oh no, we didn't get 50 copper pieces. I didn't divide that in half. We only got 25 copper pieces. Good thing I caught that. That brings us to 30 copper, not 50. We're gonna buy some stuff. I want to take a look at maybe getting some more armor. Here's our armor. That's tiny, I know. Alright, we had 110 gold pieces to spend, and we can convert silver into gold if we need to. We could get a shield. I'd like to get a banded shield for 45 gold pieces. We converted all of our silver, about 110 pieces of it anyway. It would give us 11 more gold. This brings us up to 76 gold. We could get a winged helmet, leave us with 1 gold piece. I was hoping for a great helm, or we could hold off until next time we come up here. Yeah, we could get some metal bracers actually. 3 like that. We'll get some metal bracers. Bring us down to 22 gold. Alright. I think that's going to be enough buying things for today, because I don't know what to do with them quite yet. I'm going to move the good quality stone into loot lockup. However, we're not carrying it with us. It's just left here in town. So in the evening, we can go to the tavern or the temple. I'm going to go to the tavern. Let's see what we got. In the tavern, we get 6. The tavern is very quiet this evening, but does allow you to talk to Frida, tending bar. Talks about some of the characters who've been in lately, including a group talking about finding another entrance to the dungeon and a distinctive stone that marks a spot. When you enter the dungeon again, you may exit the level 1 additional time rather than pushing on to the next level before you can find another exit shaft. Well, that would have been helpful had we come to town much earlier in level 3, because I don't think there's enough of level 3 left to worry about coming back to town again on this level. Let's come back into the dungeon here. And this corridor that we found actually has 2 exits on it. I feel if the room was big enough, these could connect. Even if it's smaller, I'll just take an extra corridor or something to connect them. So we'll continue this way. I'm thinking somewhere over here is going to be the stairs. Alright, let's pass through this archway, and we have more corridors. Surprise, surprise. Let's just keep going this way. We'll circle back. It's fine. Let's pass through this archway into this room for a change. What we have is a statue gallery. A selection of stone statues stand here. One appears to have a hatch at the base. You can search it. And I gotta roll a d6. We're gonna move over here. Behind his little plate is probably a hatch. We're gonna search using d6. A 1 or a 2, the statue turns into a stone maiden. A 3 through 6, I get to roll on a secret table. We have a stone maiden. There we go. The statue has turned into a stone maiden. We're ready to start combat. Stone maidens are favored of Krakada and were once women sacrificed by infernal monks. The infernal monks and placed in tombs only to appear with stony skin and a lust for the blood. Their maneuver is a stone fist doing d6 damage for 3, and their interrupt is stone skin, primary 3, 4s, and 5s, which would affect our lunging thrust with -2 damage. Let's get this going with our turn to attack the Stone Maiden at top of round 1. Start off with a 4-4 with 2 shifts. We can turn that into a 6-4, making for a heavy slash. Dealing 3 points of damage. The Stone Maiden's turn, combat round 1. There are 3 and a 5 with 1 shift, so they can't make a 4-3. And back to our turn, round 2. We have a 2-2 and 2 shifts, so we're not able to do a hit this round. Stone Maiden's turn for round 2 to attack us with a 6-2. That is not going to be a hit either. On to round 3 in our turn. Make it the Stone Maiden. 2-6. Move these over here. 2-6 is none of our maneuvers. Not within range of our shift. Over to the Stone Maiden's turn for round 3. He's going to go with a 1-4, and it's not shiftable. And our turn for round 4 with 1 additional shift. Attacking the Shield Maiden with a 3-2. Actually, with 3 shifts, we can turn that 3 into a 5 and the 2 into a 3, making for a lunging thrust. We'll take our -2 damage on this roll. So just straight up 5 points of damage. I didn't subtract our stuff. First attack did 3 points, and second attack did 5. Stone Maiden's turn for round 4 to attack us with a 5-6, and 2 shifts is not enough for the Stone Fist to hit. Back to our turn for top of round 5. With a 4-1, 4 shifts, we can turn that into another lunging thrust. -2 is 8 points of damage, bringing the Stone Maiden down to 14. Over to Stone Maiden's turn for round 5. With a 4-4, we're capable of shifting that 4 into a 3. Make for a Stone Fist hit. We do have a metal bracers for secondary 3s, so it still deals 4 points of damage to us, bringing us to 20. Over to round 6 in our turn. With a 1 and a 6 and 5 shifts as too far off for a hit. Over to the Stone Maiden's turn with a 3-1, and they have 4 shifts. We could turn that 3 into a 4, and have 2 more shift to turn a 1 into a 3. Make for a stone fist hit. Or 2 points of damage. Brings us down to 18 health. Into round 7 with our turn, we are going to swing at the Stone Maiden. A 2-3. Capable of turning that 2 into a 5. To make for a lunging thrust. And 6 points of damage. Bringing her down to 8 health. Stone Maiden's turn for round 7. With a 5-4, they're capable of turning that into a 4-3 to make for another Stone Fist. This time for no damage. On to our turn for round 8. A 3-3, capable of turning that all the way into a 6 and a 4 to avoid the stone skin with the heavy slash. And the +5 modifier is nice on the lunging thrust. That we get 6 points of damage. Bringing her down to 2 health. Over to the Stone Maiden's turn for round 8. 4-1, capable of turning that 1 into a 3 to make for a Stone Fist hit. And 4 points of damage. Bringing us down to 14 health. Top round 9 for our turn. We have a 5-4. Which will just shift that into a 6. Make for a heavy slash. 5, 6, 7 points of damage. Which is enough to kill her. Let's lay her down. Rumbles to the ground. There is no treasure to be had. And no secret compartment because we pulled on it and activated her. There's 2 doors that are both curtains. Let's continue going this way. Get into the corner, and then, depending on the size of the room, we'll turn and work our way back. Alright, we're gonna pass through this curtain, enter into a little hallway, and we'll pass through that archway, enter into another corridor with 2 directions to go. Getting into the corner. We'll keep on pushing to the corner itself before we turn back down. Alright, we'll pass through this archway and enter into a chamber. This is another gated tomb. In the center of the room is an iron gate and fence. Within is a smart looking stone tomb. The gate is locked with a lock -1. Set into the side of the tomb is a hatch. Roll on a secret if I open the gate. I have plenty of lockpicks. Let's see what kind of lock we have. We're dealing with a lock of 6. We'll use one of our +2 lockpicks. We have no problem opening that lock. Remove one of our lockpicks. Down to 2. Let's see what we got in the secret table. A 10. There is a golden idol sitting in the center of a hole. It's worth 46 plus 25 gold. Rolling 1s all the time. That will be 14 plus 25 to be 39. So we'll put down that we have a golden idol worth 39 gold pieces. And as you can see, we are at another dead end. Since I wanted to go down, we'll move back over here and see what's this way. Alright, let's pass through this archway into this room. What we find is a large room. Preserving room. Curtains separate this room into a number of spaces. Behind one is a metal table on which lie 2 bodies. Their eyes flick open, face 2 zombies. If I survive, I get to roll on the potions table. We'll step up this way. Zombies will come out to play. Alright, there's our zombies. There's our zombie card. We're top of round 1. With our turn, we are going to take this one on the left. And then both of them get to attack me. Our first attack roll is a 4-6 with 2 shifts that we can't turn into a hit at all. So over to zombie 1 that we just tried to attack for combat round 1. There are 2 and a 3 with only 1 shift, so we can't do much with that either. I'll do zombie 2. And there are a 5 and a 6. And we're not going to do anything with that guy. Top round 2 in our turn. Swinging at the left zombie again. This time with a 3 and a 6. And we can't do anything with that. Round 2 is first zombie. 3 and a 6. Zombie 2. Attacking with a 5 and a 1. That is also not shiftable into a hit. Top of combat round 3 for our turn. And a 1-1. That's a miss. Super miss. Zombie 1. 5. 2. Oh, not a hit. Zombie 2 for round 3 with a 6-3. Only 1 shift still. Again, on to round 4 and our turn. With a 4-6, 3 shifts. 4-6 not be turned into a hit for us. Zombie 1. 6-2 with 2 shifts is not enough for a clawed hand from the zombie. Zombie 2. And the same with a 1 and a 4 not be shifted into a hit. Top of round 5, our turn. Additional 2 shifts for a total of 4 shifts this round. A 2-3. We can turn that into a lunging thrust. The better option for a 5-3. And we deal 9 points of damage. Bringing him down to 3 health. The zombie swings at us. We just hit with a 4 or a 6-5. And with 3 shifts, we cannot turn that into a hit. Over to zombie 2. That is a 6-3, and that's not shiftable. Top of round 6 in our turn. Let's try to finish off one zombie this time. With a 3-6, we can make a heavy slash. 3 shifts to turn that into a 6, and 2 extra shifts to turn that into a 4. And with 7 points of damage, that brings that zombie to an end. Back to sleep, little buddy. On to zombie 2 for round 6. And that's a 4-6. They do have 3 shifts. They can turn that into a clawed hand. We do have a metal bracers to help with that. So it's just a straight roll. 4 damage. Bringing us to 10. Top around 7 our turn. I'll turn and face our zombie. And a 5-4, we can turn that into a 3 for a lunging thrust. And 10 points of damage. Bringing him down to just 2 health left. Zombie's turn for round 7. And a 3-2, 4 shifts. We can turn that 3 into a 4. And a 2 into a 3. Make a clawed hand. 5 points of damage. Bringing us to 5 health. I realized just now that I probably should have healed while I was in town. Part of why going back to town is a good thing. You get to heal. I forgot how much I was supposed to. And it's too late for doing it now. Retroactive. We've already taken our damage. So let's see how this goes. Top of round 8, our turn. Let's finish this guy off. 2-1. 5 shifts. We can turn the 2 into a 5 and the 1 into a 3 to make a lunging thrust. Just enough shifts to do that. And the zombie brings it down to 0 with 11 points of damage. We survived. We get to body search both of them and then do a potion table check. The first zombie has a golden chain worth 17 gold pieces. And the second zombie has a satchel at the side with a vial of liquid with a potion. And 15 gold pieces in a pouch. Let's get all that on our sheet. Before we roll up the potions, let's grab our experience. We had 1,150 and we're adding 38 and 38 for a total of 1,226. So we have 1 potion and potion table 2 on the zombie. This one is a potion of extra healing, which we're going to drink immediately. Check the other table. And our other potion that we can find is a potion of further healing. Extra healing and further healing. Just what we need after all of that fighting. Potion of extra healing gives us 30 hit points. And a potion of further health gives us an extra 25. So I do believe that brings us full, because the drinking the extra healing will bring us up to 35 health. And then the further healing brings us to a full 60 health and will exceed our baseline of 40. For now, we are no longer in any worry of dying on this floor. We're just drinking both of those right away. I don't think we have a potion spot open. We'll put the zombie away. All right. So it's going to be safe to assume that this probably connects to that. Without having to roll. So let's head out this way and see what we got. Let's check this door. See if it's locked. And a wooden door is not locked on a 5. Let's go beyond. Let's open this door. Step into the room. What we got is a small room here with a stone tomb in it. There's a simple stone sarcophagus in this space. The surface is rough with no markings. As I inspect the coffin, the lid lifts and slides away, and a mummy steps out. Alright, we've fought mummies before. It's been a little bit though, so many of the bodies in the crypt have been embalmed and now risen, roam the dark halls as rigid mummies. Turns and sees you, senses you, the dry corpse visible beneath the strips of cloth. It has a senseless body interrupt for prime 1s and 6s, which would be our heavy slash, -3 damage. And its maneuvers are savage bash and body barrel. Start combat round 1 off with our attack. That is a severe miss. Round 1 mummy's attack. With a 6 and a 4. On 2 shifts, we cannot turn the 4 into a 1 for body barrel, so that is going to be a miss. Combat round 2, and our turn. With a 5 and a 2, and we can turn the 2 into a 3 to make a lunging thrust. 6 points of damage. That will bring the mummy to 9 health. Mummy's turn. A 4-5 and 2 shifts, and we're not able to turn that into a maneuver. Top of round 3, our turn to attack the mummy. A 2-6 and 2 shifts. We can't turn that into a hit. Over to the mummy's turn for round 3 here. Oops. And the mummy does a prime attack. Seems less affected by her weapon. And I suffer -2 on my next hit. Top of round 4 in our turn. Here we go. Now we have a exact heavy slash. So we get to add our shifts onto it. We do have a -2 due to the prime attack from the mummy. So it's going to be a d6 plus 3. 9 points of damage. Which is exactly what he had left. Alright. We get to do a body search on the mummy. We get 90 experience points. 90 experience points brings us up to 1,316. I want to update the XP here to have a slash what we want. So we're at 1,316 out of 2,000. Body search the mummy. We get strapped to the thigh of the creature is a leather holster with 2 throwing knives and also a pouch with 3d6 gold pieces. 11 more gold pieces, another pouch, and 2 more throwing knives. We should probably use some of our throwing knives. Now we have 8 of them, and another pouch. Okay, let's put the mummy away. Take a look around here. This opens with archways. We have 2 exits, and due to space, I figure this is probably connected right here. Back to the statue room. So let's continue this way, through this archway. Alright, we've guessed correctly if you figure we got another corridor. This one with 3 openings. Let's see if these connect with a corridor or a room. Alright, we're going to pass through this archway into a pretty good sized room. I was supposed to be 7 by 6, but due to space, I was able to cram 7 by 5 into here. And both of these, the room calls for reinforced doors, but these were already made as archways. I don't think I can replace them. Either way, we're not going to continue that direction. We'll deal with this room first. This is a mausoleum. It's clearly important space, features statues, urns, and tombs. Out of a big urn burst D3 plus 1 giant rats. If I survive, there's 1. So 2 giant rats. If I survive, I get to roll on a sarcophagus table and urn table. Since they already broke out of the urn, I can check that urn. I'm not going to dig through ashes like I keep saying with the other urns. They already broke this one. But we gotta survive first. The rats in the crypt's level have been affected by the grim soup of magic and toxins that pollute the many dark places. Lusting for fresh meat, they attack when they see you enter. They have maneuvers for vicious scratch and a bite. And their interrupt is jump away on secondary 4s. They take -1 damage, which would be our heavy slash. Alright, our turn, top of round 1. Let's attack the one on the left. Exact heavy slash, so we have an additional +2 shift added to our damage, and -1 for their interrupt, so it's going to be a d6 plus 3, 9 points of damage on the rat, who only has 7 health, and so 9 points brings him down to dead. Now, one thing that hasn't happened before is me killing a monster on 1 hit when there's multiples. A case of fearful momentum. If you are fighting multiple creatures and kill a creature in the first round of combat, you gain momentum that strikes fear into the next opponent. Combat round 2 only, you gain +2 shift as your sudden wild frenzy makes the surviving enemy cower and hesitate. So on round 2 I get 4 shifts instead of 2. First we have this rat's attack for round 1 with a 3-1 is going to miss. Over to our turn for round 2. A 4-4. We're capable of easily turning that into a 5-3. Make a lunging thrust. 9 points of damage. Bringing that rat also down to 0. We can get 2 rat tails without becoming bloodied. Not sure what to do with a rat tail, but okay. Let's take some rat tails. And we get 24 experience points for those 2, bringing us to 1340. 2 rat tails. And then to check a sarcophagus and the broken urn. In the sarcophagus we find, in a small box at the head of the sarcophagus, are some non-coma stems. That is an herb. That looks like it. Let's see what we got. Medicated bandages. We're capable of making some medicated bandages. So let's do that real quick. That would be using the Scarlet, Ortivis, and the stems we just picked up there. We'll see how many of those we get to make. We get experience based on our level. Medicated bandages. The stems and a Ortivis. Add to a bandage and apply to a wound. Fires cloth. I mean, we have regular bandages. We did just kill a mummy in a previous room. We could get some cloth from him. Let's steal some cloth from the mummy. And make some bandages. That's just a 1. Just making a 1. I can use my bandages to make 1. Get out of the way. And we got to check out the broken urn. The urn is full of just twigs and leaves. Because the rats were living in it. It's full of their nesting ground. Alright. Rather than continuing to backtrack, we're going to move over to this way. Alright, let's step into this room, passing through the archway at the end of the corridor. And what we find... What we have is a carnal house. This space had a series of metal poles sticking out of the walls. One suddenly thrust at me. Make a precision check of PC 8. If you fail, you're caught. Or D3 plus 1 hit points. Precision is plus 2. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We just made that. We're able to dodge out of the way of the hole as it shoves at us. Over here in the back of the room we notice a small shrine with a miniature statue. Moving closer, there's a offering pan. It is a statue of the god Miratani. Alright, so we have a few doors. I'm going to places we already know. Back into the hallway there. And we have a new door this way. So let's check it. It is a reinforced door. We gotta see if it's locked. And it's a 1. We are not locked. Let's open the door up and see what we got here. Stepping into this room, we find a mass grave. Stacked here is a grim pile of skeletons that have been dumped in this temporary dirty space. As you approach, one of the skeletons shakes itself free and you must fight a skeleton warrior. Alright, first round of combat is our turn. We are going to strike at the skeleton warrior. Starting off wonderful on a prime attack. I didn't go through all of the skeleton stuff. We will read the skeleton's card real quick and then we'll deal with the prime attack. A skeleton rises up its black eye sockets, empty voids. This animated warrior is held together by dark magic and their singular purpose is to kill the living. It advances. It interrupts our body void on primary 3s and 4s. We have a -1. Luckily, we have no maneuvers with primary 3s and 4s. Its maneuvers is a sword thrust and a dusty boot. With our prime attack, we get to add our shift to our attack roll, and we get to choose which maneuver we do. So we are going to take the lunging thrust, and we are going to add a total of 7 to the die roll. Boy, 7, 8, 9 points of damage. Bringing him down to only 1 health. Right off. Why couldn't I get one better? Skeleton's turn here. With 1 shift, they're able to change the 3 into a 2 to create a sword thrust of their own. A 2 and a 2, we don't have any armor to block that, so 3 points of damage. On to round 2, and we get to take our turn to attack the skeleton. 1 and a 4. With only 2 shifts, we can't do any maneuvers. On to the skeleton's turn for round 2. Swinging at us. A 5 and a 4. We're able to shift that 4 into a 5 to create a dusty boot. Strike. And 2 minus 3 is no damage done. Just a boot to the chest. No damage. Top of round 3 in our turn. We're going to swing and super miss. Over to the skeleton's turn for round 3. We have 2 and a 1, and we're able to shift that 1 into a 2, create a sword thrust. Our 2 points of damage, bringing us to 55 health. And top of round 4, we get an additional shift. Our turn. 2 and a 4. 3 shifts, we could turn nothing. We need 4 shifts. Over to skeleton's turn. 3 and a 3. With 2 shifts for the skeleton, they are able to turn both 3s into 2s. Create another sword thrust. 2 more points of damage. And round 5, our turn here. 1 and a 4. And again, we are 1 roll short of a maneuver. Why? The dice have turned. Dice hate me. To the skeleton's turn. We have a 2 and a 6. With 3 shifts, they cannot turn that into a hit. Start around 6. We have our turn and finally something decent. We are capable of turning the 4 into a 6 and 5 to a 4. Actually, we're going to turn the 4 into a 5 and the 5 into a 3. Make a lunging thrust. That's better. Now we get good damage. Dealing 10 points of damage to the skeleton. With 1 health left, that knocks him back down into the pile. We get to add 40 XP to our experience points here, bringing us up to 1380. And do a body search on our skeleton here. The body search, we have rolled in a cloth are some sticks of charcoal and a quill feather. There's also a pouch containing 46 plus 20 gold pieces. 35 gold pieces. Get that on our sheet. Brings us to 83 gold pieces. And then we get another pouch. It's some charcoal sticks and a quill feather. And we can put away our skeleton friend here. The rest of the room is empty of things to search. We could pass back into that room, or head through the wooden door here to the south, and we should there's this whole area over here yet. Quite a bit of dungeon left. Actually, I thought we were going to be full, but we have quite a bit here. So I think I've played long enough today. Got a big chunk in the middle that's probably going to remain open. We can pop into this room at the beginning of next session and then come over here and work our way down this way and probably find the stairs over here. Unless we hit a dead end. If we hit a dead end anywhere in here, that's where the stairs will be. So we will stop the video here today. I did correct the playlist being public now, so you can actually watch the whole series. Weird how the videos are public but the playlist wasn't. Now you can at least see them all in order. So thanks for staying till the end. I hope you have a good day and see you next time.